conversation, boom, recruited. Right? So on a credibility aspect, what are some of the objections that you get? Hopefully you get some objections when you're doing one-on-one. What are some of the objections you get? What's that?
They don't have time.
They don't have time. Okay. What's that? Okay. Okay. So let me do one at a time. Can I do one at a time?
Yes.
First one is.
Time.
So tell me.
They don't have any time.
You don't have any time. The fact that you don't have any time is actually perfect. Let me tell you why. You ever heard that if you want something done, give it to someone that's busy? I look for busy people. I look for people that don't have time, because the fact that you don't have time, which means that you're very ambitious. Now let me ask you a question. If I could show you a way where you can have time and have money, which gives you lifestyle, would you be open to have that conversation? Okay, what's the next one?
Stud.
What's the next one? Come on, you guys, this is your time to give me some objection. Hold on.
They've heard of someone in the business that has failed before.
Oh, you've heard someone in the business that have failed before. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Obviously, you look like you work out. You work out? Everyone? Do you know anyone that's gone to the gym that didn't get in shape?
Yeah.
Does that mean the gym doesn't work? Pretty silly, huh? Go ahead. Who said one? What was the other one? What's that?
Primerica.
Is it a pyramid scheme? How do you ever get us to get that? Is it a pyramid scheme?
I never get that.
How do you understand a pyramid scheme? You recruit to get money. Okay. So how is that a pyramid scheme? What's the definition of pyramid scheme? Most people don't know. You realize that? What's that?
Money exchange without product.
Money exchange without profit. That's the definition of a pyramid scheme. There's two things you need to know about a pyramid. One, they're illegal. Two, they're illegal. That's my funny one, right? Well, let me ask you a question, because obviously you seem like a very smart person. Aegon, as I shared before, is a $543 billion company, trading on 6 different exchanges. They bought Transamerica. They wrote a check for Transamerica in 2001 for $11 billion. Okay. Some of the companies that we do business with, have you ever heard of Nationwide? Have you ever heard of Nationwide?
Yeah.
Nationwide is on your side. You heard that, right? Okay. Nationwide spent $1 billion last year just on advertising. You know that? Have you ever heard of Pacific Life? Pacific Life spent $85 million last year just on advertising. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that these are credible companies? Do you think for 1 second that these companies that have that much credibility in those type of assets would be affiliated with anything that would be a scam or a pyramid? Common sense. It's actually a stupid question. When I answer it, it's almost like I say it very nice, but you actually feel stupid when I answer it. That was a dumb question. But most of us, what we do is we automatically jump into the no, it's not. Don't get offended when there's nothing to get offended about. It's just conversation. I've had people say, well, I looked at some stuff on the internet and blah blah blah. I says, okay, can you print out everything that you read on the internet? And let's meet. And they'll print it out, they'll bring it in front of me, and then I go through it with it. And then I ask them, I said, well, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in God? Yeah. Let's look them up on the internet. A lot of people got their opinions on God. What does that mean? Anyone can have opinion and put it on the internet. Doesn't mean anything. You follow me on that? Give me another one. I don't see myself. You don't see yourself doing it? I know exactly how you feel. Because I felt the same way. Because for me, I was a Marine. I had 13 years in the Marine Corps. I was a firefighter in the Marine Corps. I had a job where I got paid the first and 15th. I got medical and dental. I knew nothing about insurance and investments. I knew nothing about finance. I barely balance my own checkbook, let alone give financial advice. I knew nothing about sales. But what I found is I had a mentor that was willing to work with me, that was willing to teach me, and I was able to earn while I learned. And over a period of time, I realized that because we have a system, anyone can do it. I believe in you, and I know you can do it. And there's tons of examples. Like if I go if I go to this page right here, one of the things I did in my one-on-one, I would highlight a couple of the leaders back here, and I knew their stories. Like, let me give you an example. Let me tell you about this couple right here. See what their background was here? They were a loan officer. They were doing loans. See this guy right here? He was a physician, a good friend of mine, Dr. Howard Q. And I tell a couple of stories of people just like them. Give me another one.
It's like Prime America.
What's that?
Is it like Prime America?
How do you understand Prime America?
It's like insurance, just like what you guys do.
What's that?
It's like insurance, like what you guys do.
What do you mean, like insurance?
They sell insurance, buy term and invest rest.
Okay. What kind of insurance do they sell?
I don't really know.
Most people don't know.
Really?
It doesn't matter. Just get what I'm saying. Right? A lot of times we're quick to answer the question. Somebody will say, is it multi-level? No, it's not multi-level. Well, they might be looking for multi-level. You follow me? So I want to understand what she understands about Prime America. And it's a lot of times people give you an objection. They don't even know. They're just repeating something that they've heard somewhere else. They can't justify it. Right? So it tells me, okay, is it like Prime America? How do you understand Prime America? I find out she doesn't understand Prime America. Now I'm going to educate her on Prime America, and I'm going to show her how we're different. Prime America is an insurance company. They sell term insurance. So they have one product. And they invest the difference in mutual funds. So every time they sit across the kitchen table with a family, they're selling one product, which is term, right? Which is a great company. It's a great concept. I actually know some of the top leaders there. They're not a bad company. But the industry has evolved. What we did is we looked at the financial service industry, and we're like the Walmart of the financial service industry. We have access to all the biggest insurance companies, the biggest securities companies, the biggest mortgage companies, the biggest bank. So when we sit down with a family, we're able to educate that family, shop the market for the family, because we don't represent any individual company, and bring the financial solutions to them. Let me give you an example. What kind of cell phone do you have?
I have a Sprint Galaxy 3.
You have a Galaxy 3. So let's say I was selling cell phones, and I only had the Galaxy 3 to sell, right? I can only sell you that Galaxy. But what about if I had access to the cell phone industry, and I have every cell phone? I have the iPhone, I got the Galaxy, I got this one, I got that one. Now I can ask you, what kind of cell phone do you like? And you tell me, I like iPhone. Great, I have an iPhone. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
What else? What's that? I don't like sales either. But my background is not from sales. But you know what I learned? I learned that when you become passionate about something and you're excited about something, you naturally talk to people about it. And most people now, they don't like salespeople. You know what I found after doing this for 13 years? People want to sit down with someone that's honest, someone that's going to tell them the truth. People want to sit down with someone that's going to educate them. And because of the way we're set up, we're not representing any individual company. So when we're sitting down with someone, it's an education process, identifying what it is that they're trying to achieve, and then I bring the biggest companies and the biggest products to them, and they're excited about it. That's why most of our leaders don't have a background in sales.
The company is unethical and immoral, and that it failed out and too big to fail. Not pretty recently, in the early 2000s, by the European government or the Swiss. That I just got about 2 weeks ago.
What was that now?
Aegon failed out recently. Too big to fail, the whole insurance thing.
Okay.
It's unethical and immoral. I don't like that type of business.
Okay, what kind of business do you do?
So I do consulting group. I get contracted through Walmart and.
So you work. Are you working with Walmart?
Right.
Okay, pull Walmart up. Tell me all the stuff on Walmart. Do you know actually Walmart makes a lot of money? They pay their employees just enough underneath the poverty level. Did you know that? Does that make Walmart a bad company?
Yes. Yes.
You work for them. You work for them.
Bam.
Listen, you guys, listen, just so you know, the part of being big, anytime you're big, people are going to take a tax from you.
That's right.
You follow me on that? Welcome to the big leagues. If people are not taking a tax on you, it's like I was just talking about him a few minutes ago, Joe Simpson. Joe Simpson is a friend of mine at the club. We're at the club one night, just a couple months ago, and we're having a cigar and all this stuff. And all over the papers, they got all this stuff about him, and he's gay, and all of this stuff. And none of it, he's sitting there, I'm talking to him, and he's like, dude, I can't believe how they change things around, all of this stuff. I'm talking to him. And majority of that stuff that you see on there, right? A lot of it is what sells. Not that if he's gay that there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But what I'm saying is that you can't believe everything you hear. That's why I act for factual stuff. You guys follow me on that?
Yes.
Okay. You're getting started with another business? That's awesome. Congratulations. I wish you success.
I want something with a guaranteed paycheck.
Okay, then you need to get a job. Why are you arguing with people? Go get a job. Some people need to run around the block to get next door.
He's the best.
I'm open, but I want to see how you do. Yeah.
You open that when I want to see. What's that?
I'm open, but I want to see how you do it.
You're not the type of person I'm looking for. Because that's something that a follower says. A leader doesn't need to see that.
Whoa. Joe.
Huh? Oh, you never heard that one before?
Send that your way. Train it to my team. It's amazing.
Think about it. Think about it.
Yeah, when I went to
Think about it.
Beverly Hills,
Listen to me. Only followers make that statement. Leaders don't make that statement.
That's right.
You follow me? If you need to see me do it in order for you to do it, really? Let me show you a bunch of leaders right here that has done it. Why would you need to see me to do it? That's just your chicken way of getting out of it. So I'm going to hit you right between the eyes. All right? Play offense, you guys. Be direct. What else? What's that? What do you mean that you can't afford? What is it that you can't afford?
They can't make enough money in a period of time.
What's enough money? I mean, if you can't come up with $100, then it's not the right opportunity. You need to go get a job. I mean, just be honest with you. I'm not going to talk to you about $100. If you're a grown man, grown woman, you can't put yourself on $100 for business that's going to pay you millions of dollars. This might not be the right time for you. Because if you can't come up with $100, you got a whole bunch of other issues. Does that make sense? Yeah. Unless you change your mindset. And I don't have the time nor the inclination to try to change your mindset. Don't water it down, you guys. What else? What? No objections? You guys always got objections. What was that?
They get uncomfortable. Like I get like an uncomfortable feeling. Like even if I'm trying to explain, they take it as me trying to tell them. So I think it's when I'm doing some parts, like people are misinformed. So right away they get like they back off from what you're saying. Even if you're trying to explain, they kind of like back off. They take it the wrong way. Because especially me being young, they take it as me like telling them what to do. But you know, even if you try to explain.
Who are you talking to?
The older couple or anyone, and I just get like an uncomfortable feeling. But I think it's because most of them are misinformed. So that's what I learned so far.
Okay.
I don't believe in it, or I don't need it. I said this.
What is it that you don't believe in?
The savings in that type of thing.
What type of thing?
The insurance. I've gotten a lot that I don't need it because once I hit my retirement, I don't need the insurance anymore because I'll be where I need to be without anything saved, without anything. anything beyond this point.
10% of the population reserves the right to be ignorant. You know that, right? 10% of the population reserves the right to be ignorant. Listen, you guys, listen. You need to be open. If they're not open, I'm not wasting my time. You follow me?
Yes.
I reviewed your policy. It's the worst policy I've ever seen in my life. When they designed that policy, it was specifically for people like you. I don't say that.
Okay.
But that's what I'm thinking when I'm leaving.
I was just going to ask you.
I said, man, I can't wait till this idiot turns 59 tomorrow. You know what I used to say to myself as I was leaving? What did I do wrong? Oh my God, I did something wrong. I was beating myself up. And I realized I didn't do anything wrong. They weren't open. They weren't open. So if they're not open to have a conversation, right? Why am I beating myself up? I go, man, that 401k was designed just for idiots like that. As I'm leaving. To myself. When you get taxed to death at 59 and a half, sometimes you got to run around the block to get next door. Here's what it is. You're not talking to enough people. Because you're going to you run 13 appointments. All 13 run great. 3 people are going to tell you no. No matter how great the plan is. 5 are going to buy. You follow me? You need to see enough people. Right? You know when you worry about that stuff? You worry about that stuff when you're not doing enough appointments. How do I know how to overcome all these objections? Because I heard them all. Guy said to me this week. He says, well, I don't really know that I want to do this. I said, then don't. He was waiting for me to convince him. I said, well, then don't. I said, but let me ask you a question. What is it that you're going to do? Let's have that conversation. Because right now you're unemployed. You've been looking for a job for 7 months now. Your wife's not working. You've got 3 kids. You have no savings. So what is it that you're going to do? Let me tell you what's in your future. You keep doing what you're doing with the same mindset that you're on. Guys like me will take care of you and your family. Because you'll be on welfare. That's where you're going. That's where you're going. I don't like what you said about that. I said, you know who wants me to tell you this? Your wife. Your wife wants me to tell you this. Get to work. Very direct. Oh, because I don't need it. I was coming from a good place, but he needed to hear that. Walking around with these weak beliefs, meanwhile his family's starving. And he's got an opportunity where he can go change his life. He's being a pansy. That's how I'm thinking in my mind.
So I heard this one.
You heard this one? What are you doing? Radio?
Well, I got told.
You got the objection down there on the radio station. That's all what I heard.
3 months pregnant and I won't have time for it.
What's that?
I'm 3 months pregnant and I'm not gonna have time for it.
Why are you not going to have time for it?
I'm not 3 months pregnant. I don't know.
Why are you not going to have time for it? What does that mean? See, I want you to define to me specifically what the objection is. Can you afford not to have time? Can you afford not to have time? What does that mean? What does that mean? Can you afford not to have time? Hold on. What does that mean? Can you afford not to have time? Can you afford not to be earning money and staying home? That's a privilege. It's not a right. You got a couple of $1 million, you can do whatever you want. If you don't have that privilege. Can you afford not to have time? I gave Ed that excuse, right? He wasn't so kind. I mean, I was working 24 on, 24 off, 48 on, 48 off. I was working my part-time job doing construction, making $10 an hour, making $100 a day, right? Making $3,000 a month. I'm broke, living payday to payday. I'm in debt, no money saved, right? Stressed out every month, making money to pay bills, eating ramen noodles, right? Stressed out every time we go to the grocery store, right? All this stuff. And guess what I said to him? Man, I just don't have time, man. You're so busy being broke, you ain't got time to get rich. I got so offended when he said that. I got so offended when he said that. So who the hell does he think he is? Just because he got money, you think he could talk to me like that? Right?
Yeah.
And then I walked away and I started thinking to myself. And then he said something else. He said, Charlier, look, if you make as much money the next 10 years as you make the last 10 years, would you be satisfied? I said, no. And he says, well, if you keep doing what you've always been doing, you're always going to get what you're getting. The problem is how you think. And I had to change my thinking. You follow me? So the way you think is getting you what it's getting you right now. You have to change the way you're thinking. So when someone gives me an objection, leaders challenge thinking. I don't just sit there and answer your questions. I want to challenge your thinking. I do that with my son all the time. He says something stupid, I go, that sounds really good. That's why you're making this an hour. Ask yourself a different question. You follow me? So now you have to earn someone's trust. Does that make sense? Right? So when someone gives me an objection, I want to answer the objection, but I will also want to challenge their thinking. That's what leaders do. Right? I want people to feel uncomfortable. If I'm sitting across the kitchen table from you, you're 44 years old, you're making a certain money, and your family is not protected. Let me ask you a question. Can I talk to you like you were my brother? Like you guys were family? Yeah. I want to play devil's advocate.